Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Shit's Hard. I'm your host, Amber. And today we are feeling uninspired. So that is what we're going to talk about today. Because feeling uninspired is fucking hard. We're going to talk about writer's block, AKA this episode, me having fucking creative issues, and procrastinating and motivation. Because that is just how I'm feeling right now. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was literally making the episode outline like for this episode, and I was like, I don't know what to talk about. And luckily, this doesn't happen to me very often. People ask me, they'll be like, do you ever experience writer's block, creative block, like running out of things to talk about, say, whatever? And for the most part, I'm like, no, thank God, but no. The one good thing about me is I never shut the fuck up. Like literally, I always have things to talk about. But lo and behold, today's the day. I just was struggling and I was like, I don't know what to talk about. And I'm feeling very, very uninspired and kind of like unmotivated too. And so let's just fucking dive into it because we've definitely all been there before. I will say I am glad I do have some pretty good like measures taken that like usually prevent this from happening to me. I think I've talked about this before, but I have like a little doc on my phone. It's on my Google Drive, so I can literally like access this anywhere. And it's just called Content Brainstorm. It's literally like word jumble, like word vomit, just like any ideas that come into my head. Anytime someone's like, oh my God, you should make an episode about that. Anytime anything even remotely, like I think about maybe wanting to talk about, I throw in there. And just lately, I have been scrolling through it, like scrolling. There's like pages and pages of ideas, like at least 4 to 5 full pages of ideas. And I'm like, I hate them all. I fucking hate them all. I'm looking through it. And I'm like, Amber, these are all bad ideas. Like, honestly, how I go about like my creative process through like figuring out what I'm going to talk about and stuff. Well, the first thing I do is try to think about what I want to talk about. And if there's already something from that week where I'm like, fuck, this pissed me off. This is what we're talking about. Easy, done, go for it. Like, no need to write it down and save it for another day. No need to write it down and save it for another week. Like, I do not plan these episodes out. I like them to be relevant and authentic. I think it comes off better that way, and I come off better that way. And I have an easy time. I mean, I have an episode outline that I kind of follow and look at while I'm recording. But like, other than that, for the most part, I'm just like yapping. I have so many thoughts and ideas and opinions. It's like, for the most part, I have the episode outlined to keep me on track. It's not so that I remember that I have things to talk about. It's so that I don't like veer off and start talking about like some random ass shit and then yap for like over an hour and a half. It's like so the episode stays like remotely organized. But yeah, the episode or the content brainstorm was just like, I was scrolling through and I was like, there are so many bad ideas in here. Like there are so many bad ideas. There's ideas for sure. There's like things for me to sift through. And I feel like ever since I've started the content brainstorm, I do reference it all the time. And if I'm feeling uninspired, I'll pull things from that. But like today I was like, I pulled all the good ones. I pulled everything. I pulled everything that was usable from this. Everything else is trash. And I think that's a part of getting over writer's block is you have to like just keep going, like keep creating shit. If you're feeling blocked, start creating bad shit. Like just if you're just like having trouble, just start coming up with ideas, even bad ideas, like literally even bad ideas. Just start like getting them out of your head and onto paper and writing them down, just so you can look at all the bad ideas. And eventually I'll get to a good one. So like I said, luckily this doesn't happen to me very often. Usually I'm able to do like some sort of weekly recap where like it's Thursday, I record every Thursday. And so usually I look back on like how the week is gone, maybe things that happened over the weekend, things like that. And try to think about like, like literally I go through my week step by step and think about like, is there any lessons here? Anything that I've been trying to work on? Is there anything that pissed me off? Anything that I like got deep into thought about? And just anything that I want to talk about. And usually there's something there. For the most part, just like daily life gives me enough content, plenty of content to work off. My life in this last couple months has given me a lot of content to work off of. So that's a good thing, I guess. But however, like, again, if I'm feeling uninspired, then that's when I kind of go to the content brainstorm. And then today, that's what happened. I looked through my week, couldn't find anything. Looked through content brainstorm, couldn't find anything. And I was like, you know what? I will hack my feelings of uninspiration, my creative writer's block, by just making an episode about writer's block and feeling uninspired. Cha-ching, gold. Like, easy. I've hacked it. I don't have to come up with a new idea. I'll just like literally bitch. I think that's what's done well for me, and I feel like partially a solution to my creators like block, writer's block, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know if there's another word for it. Writer's block is basically when writers and authors, like it's like in reference to writers and authors who like can't come up with any more ideas. But obviously, I mean, like in a broader term of like any creative who's just like feeling stumped and like lacking inspiration. They just feel like there's, the idea of tap has run dry. I don't know if there's like another word for that isn't just writers, but anyways, I feel like what helps me out a lot, granted, my expression of creative freedom is a podcast where I literally just talk about myself, and it's a lifestyle. So it's like endless content, because like my life is pretty broad. It's like a broad subject to talk about. I picked this podcast title for a reason. Shit's hard. Broad as fuck. Could literally cover everything, my whole life. Like there's a lot of shit that's hard. All the shit that's hard. So something that helps me skimp by in my creative freedom and writer's block is being honest with you guys. Like sometimes I just get on here and I'm like, you know what? This is how it is. This is how the week is going. And it keeps me vulnerable. It keeps me young. It keeps me I like how it keeps me relevant and relatable because, a lot of times when you guys are listening to this episode, I recorded it 4 or 5 days ago. Like it's very, very recent. This is like my current life, When I write down these ideas in this content brainstorm document that I have, sometimes when I write down the idea, it seems really good because it's really relevant and something's pissing me off right in that moment. But, when I decide to actually film and talk about something else in the podcast, and then weeks go by and I revisit these old ideas from weeks ago, I don't feel that way anymore. Or I'm not as angry about that. Or I really don't care about that. Or I think that topic is a little self-centered or not interesting. Or just like in general, I'm like, I just don't feel that way anymore, which is interesting because that is like something that happens like more rapidly than you would think. It's like, I bet I could go back and listen to my very first episodes from a year ago and be like, I don't think that anymore. I don't feel that way anymore. But that is a really cool thing. Like that's something that stressed me out at the beginning was like, I'm coming out here, I'm giving kind of my own unsolicited advice, which feels concerning to me because who am I to be giving advice? Sharing my own personal stories and my own opinions and etc. And I was a little bit stressed because I was like, what if my opinions change over time? Like, and I look back and I'm like, fuck, I put that on the goddamn internet and I look like an idiot. But I've come to realize it's actually like a really beautiful thing. Like that's a really nice, comforting thing to be able to look at episodes from a year ago and see how I've changed and evolved and grown up, which is kind of the point of my podcast. Like, the point of like me in general is like, I'm really concerned. I mean, I started the podcast to like help other people, to connect to other people, help them feel less alone, and really connect with people who are interested in growing as a person, even though that shit's hard. So that is like the bottom baseline like goal to achieve here. And it's like being a better version of ourselves every day. And that's something that I work on. It's a big priority in my life. And so I was like, in reality, if I can look back on old ideas or old episodes and see how I've grown and changed, I'm like, well, then we know that we're growing. You know what I mean? Like we have proof right there. The proof is in the pudding, that we've grown the fuck up since, I was younger or whatever. Younger. I was like 22. This is like a year ago. But anyways, in a couple years, I'll look back and be like, oh my God, I was a little baby. I was so young. I was so cute. I was so naive or whatever it may be. But I do think another thing with struggling with lack of inspiration could be trying to like get yourself in the mood. Like I said, one, like getting the bad ideas out there. Like, a lot of people say no ideas are bad ideas, or literally no one says that. I think I was thinking of no questions are stupid questions. Well, anyways, I agree with it to an extent that, you should just like let the bad ideas fall out though. Like, even if I have a bad idea, I should still like write it down, get it like all in one area. For one, then it's a good reminder that I've done something. Even if I've thought of like 100 bad ideas, I can at least look at them, look through them. One, give myself credit where it's due and like recognize that I have done something. Then it's like I have something to show for like me emptying all the bad ideas out so I can get to the good one. But two, like there's sometimes a diamond in the rough too. Like sometimes I can look through all my bad ideas and I'll be like, these are all shit. And I'll be like, well, but this one did remind me of something else. And that's like striking a new idea. And okay, maybe I'll go with that type of thing. So I don't know. Like I think it's important to like sift through the mud on your creative shit, but also like getting yourself into a headspace. Like I said earlier, like I kind of do a week recap, see if there's anything that my friends said that stood out to me or anything that especially like sparked my attention or something where I was like, just kind of looking through my week and trying to pull ideas from there. Or just as well, like getting yourself kind of in the mood. So like every Thursday is when I record. And I'll give you guys the dirty deets of my Thursday schedule. So a couple months ago, I decided I was not going to work on Thursdays. Honestly, I didn't have any clients on Thursdays. So it just kind of like happened itself. And I was like, okay, I'm going to block the whole day. I'm not going to book clients on Thursdays anymore. It worked out because I didn't have any clients there anyways. And now going forward, I never book clients on Thursdays. I do not work on Thursdays. I'm not in the gym on Thursdays at all. And it's been really, really good for me. One, I knew it had to be a weekday. For some reason, something in my brain will only fuck around on the weekends. I cannot get anything done on the weekends. Like Saturday, Sunday, I can't work out Saturday, Sunday. I've never worked out on a Saturday. Like I can't do it. My brain and body is like Saturday, Sundays for literally chilling, relaxing, hanging out with your friends and doing things that you just enjoy that don't take any work. Again, not to say that I don't obviously enjoy the podcast, but it does take work. So I knew it had to be a weekday. That was like during the week is when I'm like being productive and getting my shit done. So Thursday was perfect. My like schedule breakdown of my Thursdays is 10 a.m. I have therapy every Thursday. 12:15 I have a singing lesson with my instructor. And then I'm done at like no, it's 12:30. It ends at 1:15. Then I'm done for the rest of the day. So the rest of that day is blocked off for recording the podcast, whatever other shit I might need to get done, cleaning up around the house, that kind of stuff. And so, so here we are now. This is where I am. I've like already done the things and now I'm here to record my episode. And sometimes I am feeling a little unmotivated. Like I get home from singing and I'm kind of like, oh, it's only 1:15. I have the rest of the day. You know, I don't have to record right now. And I'm feeling like a little lazy and blah, blah. And like, I can't like, I'm like, oh, I don't know what I want to talk about. And I kind of like mosey around and fuck around. And I'm just like not getting shit done. Like I could be a little more proactive with getting home, getting set up and getting to it. Now, we have to recognize we're not a fucking robot. I'm not just going to like mechanically do everything minute to minute. Like, yeah, sometimes I need to come home and chill for a second and then I can get to it. But what I notice helps me when I'm feeling like when the idea of recording an episode from start to finish sounds overwhelming and dreadful, not in the sense that I don't enjoy it, in the sense that like it sounds hard and I don't know what I'm going to talk about and I have to do my makeup and get dressed and get ready and get set up. It seems like a lot. I bet, and this works in all aspects of life as well. Baby steps. Like baby steps will get you to where you want to fucking go. Like literally. Like just like convincing yourself, hey, you don't have to record a whole podcast episode, Amber. You don't have to. You don't if that seems too much for you, Amber, you do not have to record a whole podcast episode right now, this minute. But you know what you should do? You know what you can do? You know what you will do? You know what sounds doable? Just set up. Yeah, just set up, Amber. This is what I'm saying in my head. I'm like, yeah, just get out the mic, just like, close the closet door, move the shelf over, set the mic up. And then just like set the ring light up and just like set the laptop up, set your interface up, set the little iPad up, move your little chair over here. That's all. You don't have to record this whole episode, do this whole thing. Just get set up. Just get set up. This is the same thing for working out. I noticed with myself back in college, I struggled a lot more with motivation then to get into the gym. Not saying I don't now, but now I work at a gym. So it's like it's more convenient because I'm like already there. I don't have to convince myself to go there because I'm always there. But back in college when I was struggling with like, just like the idea of getting up, getting dressed, going to the gym, working out, coming home, it's too much. It's literally too much. It's a lot. I would be like, Amber, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do this whole thing. You don't have to get up and get dressed and go to the gym and do this whole workout. But you know what you can do? Just get dressed. Yeah. Just put on leggings. Yeah. Don't think about the workout and this and that and hard and this. Just get dressed. Just put on leggings, put on a sports bra, put on your Converse, grab your gym bag, like just get dressed. And then once I'm dressed, I'm like, all right, well, now I'm dressed. I guess now I'll just go to the gym, you know? Like, all right, well, I guess if we got this far. It's the same exact thing on my Thursdays. After I set all this up, I'm like, okay, well, like I'm halfway done, you know? Like I don't really have that much more to do. And it's not focusing on that whole big task. Okay, well, I got to record and think of an idea and talk in 30 minutes. It's like, okay, well, now that the setup is done, it's like, okay, well, like let me just do my makeup. That's easy enough, right? I do that all the time. I can do my makeup. I don't have to do anything crazy. I don't have to do a fucking smoky eye, eyeliner, like none of that shit. Like I can just do my makeup. That's like easy enough, right? And so then once I've done that, once I've done my makeup and I've already got the setup of the podcast in my room, it's like taking up half of my living space. Then I'm like, okay, well, there's only one thing left to do, and it's write the outline. And that can't be so bad, right? And then I just have to record, you know? Like after that, all I have to do is record, which lowest of keys, like recording is like the most dreadful part of like, oh my God, I have to sit down, I have to hit play, I have to be on camera, I have to smile, I have to like be fluid and not be choppy and stop saying and oh my God, how many times did you say like, Amber, shut the fuck up? Like I'm kind of in my head about it a little bit. But I will say once I hit record and I get going, for me, it's like kind of like smooth sailing. It's really hard for me to like get to the point to like sit down and like commit right here for 30 minutes to sit down and talk. But once I do it, it's pretty easy. I mean, as you guys can tell, like listening, like the words just kind of fall out. They flow. You know, my thinking patterns, my like my words just kind of like all the thoughts and the opinions just pour out of me. And it's like not even half as bad as I was making it out to be in my head. But in my head, it sounds like such a chore. It's like the most difficult part is getting me to start. Once I'm started, I'm good. Like this is like not so bad, like at all. I'm enjoying myself, obviously. That's why I keep doing it. So yeah, if there's any advice that I have to you in terms of getting motivated or getting started on something, do the baby steps. Convince yourself, like don't think about the bigger picture. Convince yourself to just think about taking one small step in that direction and you'll be home free. That's definitely what I used to do with working out, and it used to work like a charm. Because once you're already in your cute little gym outfit, you're not going to take it off? No, you're going to take it off. So you're just going to go. So yeah, give yourself some grace, talk to yourself in your head and be like, you don't have to do the hard thing. Just do this little thing. Just this little thing. Just set up the camera, just set up the mic, just set it up, Amber. And then it all goes smooth sailing from there. So shockingly, something that I've been struggling with today specifically, I've been procrastinating. And I am not a procrastinator. I certainly have my own life struggles for sure. Motivation, understood. Discipline, yes. Like these things are hard. Procrastinating, not so much. I've never been much of a procrastinator because I have anxiety. And so usually I'm like running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to like prepare for the future, not like sitting back and like stressing about the future. I am leaving tomorrow. I'm going home for the holidays. I am flying to New York tomorrow. And my flight leaves at like 2:40, I think. Yeah, 2:40. And so I will need to be at the airport early as fuck because it's the fucking holidays. So like obviously I need to have all my shit done tonight. I need to redo my nails. Broke this nail. If you're watching the video, broke this fucking nail. So I need to redo my nails and get the house ready, get the dog ready. I have not even packed. Anyone who knows me knows this is like pretty out of line for my character. Like, again, usually I'm pretty anxious. I'm pretty stressed. I'm pretty like, oh my God, I have to leave. What am I going to wear? What am I going to bring? Like, usually I'm packed like 2 days before and then I'm like annoyed because I have to leave my toothbrush out for like all the nights that I'll still be here before I leave. So I am kind of surprised with myself today about how I've really been procrastinating today. And I don't know why that is, but I mean, I'm a human and things fluctuate and whatever. Things change. I definitely try to give myself a little bit of grace. Like, you know, like I get it. I'm like in my head, I'm like, I get it, Amber. It doesn't sound like the most exciting thing to like get all your shit done. Now, granted, I like getting my shit done. I actually quite like doing my nails. I like doing this podcast, but it's like, I like packing. I don't mind packing. I don't mind it. But it's like, I don't know. I just like the the push to get me to do something right now for some reason is like harder than usual. So that is what I'm struggling with today, is like getting my shit together. Like usually I'm the most prepared person in the room. I'm prepared. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for whatever's next. I'm ready for my flight tomorrow and this and that and the dog and I got her food and the person watching her and this and that and like my schedule and whatever. I've got like 4 emergency contacts for the person watching my dog. Like I'm like on top of it usually. Now, everything in regards to my dog is already taken care of because that's obviously like a very, very big priority to me. And I don't think I've ever really left her this long. And I've never left her with this person either. So I am feeling a little bit anxious about that. Plus, I also haven't spent a Christmas without her since I got her, which is kind of sad. But I did get her some presents and some bones. And so I left them for her to open on Christmas Day. So she'll be happy. Princess literally won't give a fuck, but I will. I'll be sad. So, but yeah, I have just like not been doing my shit. I mean, hell, right now as I'm filming this, it's like 5:30 in the afternoon on Thursday. Again, my flight leaves tomorrow. I have to be leaving by like 11 a.m. tomorrow. And I got out my suitcase actually. That's as far as I got. And I did that like 2 days ago because that's normal, Amber, is 2 days ahead getting out my suitcase. I did also clean my whole apartment like head to toe 2 days ago. That was me. That's like more me. It's like 3 days before cleaning the house, getting the suitcase out, like 2 days before, like, and I don't know. It's just like the days have gotten on top of me. And today I just was like, I haven't packed a single fucking thing. I haven't even opened the suitcase. All I did was get it out, which I mean, credit where it's due. Good job, Amber. Pat on the back. You got the suitcase out. You took that baby step in the right direction. So like, at least I did that much. But after this episode, I will definitely be packing and getting my shit together for tomorrow. I'm also a little stressed. I think I've been a little stressed about packing because I'm home for a long time and I'm also going to New York and then back to Ohio and then back to LA. And I'm going to be recording episodes while I'm home too. And so I need to like figure out how to pack my mic and all that kind of stuff. And I'm anxious because it's like, I just got this new tech and it's expensive and I'm excited for it, but I'm also like stressed because like I've never packed it and traveled with it and I don't want it to break. And like, so then I'm like, I just won't pack it. Like I just won't fix that problem right now because then I don't have to stress about it. So that's what I've been. But yeah, if I have any advice to you in terms of like getting motivated and having your shit together, have a plan. Like try to have a plan for feeling unmotivated before it happens. That's kind of what I did with my content brainstorm, like my little, word vomit Google Doc, is I had that plan before I ever even struggled with creative block. I would just have this doc where I would put ideas into. And then if I had like another idea the day of I was recording, I'd just go with that idea and I would just save this little content brainstorm for whenever I feel like I need it. So I was kind of like prepping for later on when I knew I would be like, I'm stumped. Fuck, I have nothing to talk about. So I feel like trying to be prepared and having a plan, course of action to take, like I said, yakking up all your bad ideas first thing, and then you'll get to the good ones. Those things can work really well, I feel like. Well, I mean, as best as they can. Inevitably, if you're a creative, you're going to experience some kind of writer's block. That's just going to happen. Like, very common. That's why there's a name for it. So, I don't know. You can always Google or YouTube, like, how to end your writer's block. Like, I bet there's like tutorials on that and things that help. So, things that awaken your creative brain. So, you could always do that. But yeah, that's what I've got for you. This week, shit we're working on this week is going to be getting inspired, setting yourself up for success before you're uninspired. And I think too, trying to exercise that creative outlet in other ways. Something that I don't do enough is like watch other creators on YouTube or other podcasts. I haven't even listened to another podcast in a long time. So, you can learn from other people. Someone told me lately, what was it? They were like, a good artist takes inspiration from other artists. A great artist steals from other artists or some shit. I can't even remember what the fuck it was. But that being said, something I learned in architecture school for sure is like learn and study from the other people and the other creatives in your field doing things. And I don't do that enough in terms of like social media and stuff. I mean, I scroll TikTok for hours and then I convince myself that I'm doing work because I'm studying other creators. That's so fucking funny. Like, I'm actually not kidding you though. I will be scrolling TikTok. I'll get off and I'll be like, well, like I need to like think of some more ideas and this and that. And I need to like see what other creators are up to. And I do need to know the trends. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to keep scrolling on TikTok because I have to know the trends. I have to be up to date, which is partially true. After a couple hours, it's definitely not true. But that's what I tell myself as I scroll TikTok and avoid packing and other shit. So that's what I'm working on this week. Shit I'm wondering this week is going to be, do you struggle with creative writer's block or feeling uninspired? And how do you get past it? What are your solutions for like getting past this, fucking rut that, all creatives eventually experience. So let me know how you get inspired when you're uninspired. And if you want to hear more from me, you can see me on Instagram, TikTok at Amber Meisner with 2 R's. And I will see you in the next one because this shit is hard.